Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Getting a new star will be of great benefit to the Warriors, and a proposal has emerged that would be a high-risk deal, but at the same time it would be perfect to bring in Zion Williamson. Golden State Warriors go all in for Zion Williamson while retaining Jonathan Kuminga. Golden State Warriors receive Zion Williamson. New Orleans Pelicans receive Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski, 2027 first-round pick, GSW, 2032 first-round pick, GSW. Golden State decides to toss the role-player model aside and chase seismic upside. Zion Williamson, 24.6 ppg, 7.2 rpg. They send Draymond Green, 9.0 ppg, 6.1 rpg, Brandon Podziemski, 11.7 ppg, 5.1 rpg, plus their 2027 and 2032 first-rounders to the Pelicans. Zion's power and inside scoring would bridge the gap between mid-tier ceiling and championship threat, with Kuminga still in tow. It's daring in that signature Warriors couture, splashy, bold, but potentially transformative. This trade would instantly shift the West's balance and alter the Warriors' marketing forever. Imagine Zion in Bay Area social media content, linked stat lines between him and Kuminga, two explosive forwards, and Curry finding a new lob conduit. If healthy, it elevates Golden State from fringe to finals contender overnight. Of course, there's a mountain of baggage. Zion's durability concerns are well documented, and the surrender of Green's leadership and identity muddies Bay loyalty. Podziemski is unproven but tantalizing, and the picks are key assets if things crash. The Pelicans emerge with culture and depth, the Warriors roll the dice on peak ceiling. It's high risk, high reward, even reckless, if you ask purists. Warriors signing DeAnthony Melton could crush Kings' trade for Jonathan Kuminga. There's many moving parts here. Keon Ellis is the current buzz name doing the rounds on social media in regards to a potential sign-and trade for Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga, with plenty of debate among Sacramento Kings fans on whether the front office should be willing to part ways with the young guard. There's a chance that the Kings will hold Ellis completely off-limits in any sign-and-trade possibility, but even if they were willing to put him on the table, what's to say the Warriors will be interested enough to accept a move? DeAnthony Melton's signing could impact Warriors' interest in Keon Ellis. In a normal scenario, Golden State may be really happy to get someone of Ellis' caliber in a sign-and-trade situation, particularly given Kuminga has made it clear he would prefer a new home, having thus far resisted contract offers from Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the front office. Ellis may be off Broadway given the underwhelming and messy situation in Sacramento, but he's nonetheless developed into an elite perimeter defender who's also shot 42.9% from three-point range over his 3-year career. However, this isn't a normal scenario given the Warriors are expected to sign DeAnthony Melton in free agency once the Kuminga situation is resolved. Melton does come with injury risk, but he's only 2 years older than Ellis and is already a proven fit within the Golden State system. Imagine if the Warriors finesse Keon Ellis from the Kings for Kuminga and then poor Melton sees his handshake deal fall apart. You could certainly have Melton and Ellis on the same roster, but adding in current guards like Brandon Podziemski and Buddy Hield provides some level of overkill when it comes to shooting guard options next to Stephen Curry in the backcourt. It's therefore conceivable that the expected signing of Melton may cause Golden State not to value Ellis in a way that many around the league otherwise would. That's not to say that they would completely reject a Kuminga for Ellis swap, but the impact of Melton's arrival is at least worthy of discussion when it comes to the 25-year-old's value specifically to the Warriors. The other complicated aspect to this is Ellis' contract and the fact the Kings chose to pick up his $2.3 million player option for next season. If Golden State were to trade for him right now, they'd have to be confident of extending him once eligible rather than letting him walk as an unrestricted free agent next offseason. Needless to say, the Warriors won't want to trade Kuminga for just 1 year of Ellis, but they might have to stump up $15 to $20 million per season in order to avoid that. How will that factor into things if Melton has a bounce-back season and wants a new deal, along with Podziemski being extension eligible next year? All of this is a moot point until such time the Kings actually make Ellis available in a sign-and-trade, yet they may have to eventually make that decision if they're truly intent on acquiring Kuminga. Warriors' shaky draft record, handling of Kuminga saga may alienate future players. Curry remains one of the top draws in the NBA as far as fellow players, particularly stars, are concerned. In addition to being a four-time champion and two-time regular season MVP, he plays a style that many are eager to complement. Curry will turn 38 during the 2025-26 regular season, however, and it's fair to question how much longer he'll play for. Recent signs have pointed toward the potential for a tough chapter in franchise history once Curry retires. Long heralded for a strong draft record, Golden State has lost that reputation and gone all in on veterans whom they hope can extend their window, sacrificing internal development along the way. That could send a negative message to future free agents who may have considered the Warriors in a post-Curry world, or, at the very least, leave Golden State ill-prepared for a rebuild they could have avoided. Clearly, Kuminga could have worked on his jump shot, improved his off-ball value, and positioned himself to secure more playing time with the Warriors. He also could have made greater strides defensively to justify an uptick in playing time, even when his jumper isn't falling. For as true as that may be, Golden State has been overwhelmingly reliant on home run swings to supplement Curry's talent, and disappointing in the internal development arena. The Warriors had 3 lottery picks between 2020 and 2021, and if Kuminga signs elsewhere, only Moses Moody would remain from those classes. A year later, it took Patrick Baldwin Jr. with the number 28 overall selection, and later packaged him in the deal for one-year rental Chris Paul. Brandon Podziemski offers some reason for hope, but if the Warriors don't figure out how to balance the present and the future, their one-sided strategy could cost them dearly. Warriors' Jonathan Kuminga stuck in brutal free agency. Of all the positions a young NBA player can find himself in, contract-wise, restricted free agency is probably the worst. And as we stand with the end of July coming soon, 4 players are providing good examples of just why that is. Jonathan Kuminga can't get a new deal with the Warriors. Josh Giddey can't get a new deal with the Bulls. Quentin Grimes can't get a new deal with the Sixers. Cam Thomas can't get a new deal with the Nets. The reason? Restricted free agency is the one spot in player-team relations in which the player has virtually no power. Teams have all the leverage, because they own the rights to the player and can match any offers. Years ago, when every summer saw multiple teams operating with significant swaths of cap space available, restricted free agency was less of a problem, because there would be teams who could offer deals to the RFAs, even if they knew the current team would match. That could be done as a favor to the player's agent, or as a way to force an opponent into a more expensive contract. Now? Well, no one has cap space. That's not how teams operate anymore. Restricted free agency was built for a system that no longer exists in the NBA. It's the worst spot you can be in because you're relying on the generosity of the team, one prominent NBA agent said. For the player, it is brutal because it can drag out way into the summer when no one has money to spend, and there is just nothing you can do until the decides to step up make a fair offer. It's brutal on these young players who are expecting to have this big payday. The only leverage a player has is the qualifying offer they can sign the QO, which is most often a lowball, one-year add-on to the player's rookie contract. Signing that makes the player an unrestricted free agent the following summer, and puts the team at risk of losing him without any return via trade. Kuminga's QO is $8 million for 2025-26. Giddey's is $11 million, Grimes's is $8.5 million and Thomas's is $6 million. These are all players hoping to sign deals worth $20 to $30 million per year. Something is likely to get done with Kuminga and Giddey. Grimes and Thomas, though, could well wind up with the QO and free agency. It's a tough situation for a player, it's something that has not gotten enough attention in the CBA, I think, the agent said.